We learned about lists in the previous video, but another data structure that can be quite useful is called a dictionary. A dictionary can store values that are based on a key. Keys cannot be the same, but two different keys can have the same value. So for example, you can have a dictionary where the keys are names and the values can be passwords for a certain website. And we all know people have to have different usernames, but people can have the same password. So now let's create a login, forgot password, and register system. So let's go create a empty dictionary. And the way you create an empty dictionary is like this, similar to a list, except instead of brackets, we use curly brackets. So let's actually show how to manually input a user. So I can have John as a username, and let's say his password is 123. Now if I print users, let's see what we get. So we get John as a key and 123 as a value. So let's get rid of that. Now let's create that login system that we were talking about. So first we need a welcome function, right? And let's say we have a response variable that stores a user input. We can ask, well, first let's say welcome to site. To log in, press 1. If you forgot password, press 2. And to register, press 3. So let me go ahead and do that. Hold up. This be an issue. Instead of that, let's use quotations. Okay. So if the response is equal to 1, we'll lead the user to the login function. If response equals 2, we'll send the user to a forgot pass function. If response equals 3, we'll send the user to a register function. Else, we'll print out invalid response, and we'll return the user at the beginning of the welcome function. So now let's create a login function. So we can say we can set a variable called username to an input. Enter username. And if the username is in users, now this is a new operator that we haven't actually touched upon before, but the in operator just checks if a key is in the user's dictionary. You can actually use this for lists as well. And inside this if statement, if it is correct, we will ask for another input called password. Let's say enter password. And now if the username has a password that matches the password that's given, we can print out logged in. And if the password is incorrect, we can say incorrect password, and then we can just go back to the welcome function. And if the username is actually not in the dictionary, then we can also print the same thing. Sorry, that's not a valid. Oh, that's not a valid user name. Change this to this, so I can use this here. Okay, now if that's the case, we'll send them back to the welcome function. That's it for the login function. And now we have the forgot pass function. So let's go type that in. So we can ask for the username, input, say, please enter your name. And this is a security problem, but for learning purposes, let's keep it this way. If you just enter your username, you'll be able to get your password. So let's do that, and then users username. And then after a few line breaks, just to format it, and welcome. So then we'll just send them to the welcome function again. So now we just have one more function left, the register function. So let's start off by username, right? Input, enter new username, and then password can be enter new password. And now in order to add a new user, we can just simply do what we did up here to add John to the users dictionary. We just have to pass in the given username as a key, and as a value we need to set password as the value associated with this key. So after that, we can send the user back to the welcome function. And to end it off, we'll just call the welcome function to start off the program. So let's go ahead and run that. So let's press 1 to log in. Let's enter John's name. Let's enter his password. That's logged in. Now if you run again, press 1 and then enter John, and then if you give the incorrect password, it says incorrect password. And now let's try to create a new user. Let's press 3. I'll put in my name, and then for password, as I said, we can have the same values, right? So I'll keep my password 123 as well. And now I'll try to log in. So if I put isFar now, I put the 123 password, it says logged in. And if I print the dictionary out in the console or the shell, it gives me John 123, isFar 123. So that's all working great. Now the only thing we haven't tested out is the forgot password yet. So now I'm gonna run this again, but now let's just use John, because when I rerun it, it's actually gonna erase my account. So let's go ahead, run the module. So now if I press 2, I'll enter John, and then it says that my password is 123, so I can now log in. And well, that's it for this video. Hope you learned something. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Hope to see you in the next one.